Hello and welcome back to another week of Sambo iRacing. We are back in the BMW M4 GT3, this time at Fuji International Speedway Grand Prix Edition. This is using the fixed setup, but because it's used for open and fixed, I did start on 30 litres and there is only about 5 kilos of fuel left when I actually did this lap. All track temperatures the same as this week, and let me know if you have any questions in the comments. Let's start the hot lap. Alright, let's start the hot lap. So smashing it down the incredibly long straight here. And we're looking for just after the 150, long braking zone, trail off all the way down to first. Beautiful bit of trail braking there. Back over to the right hand side, up to fourth gear. We're going to leave it in fourth gear. Just dab the brakes slightly up the 100, clip the corner. And now we're just trying to balance the car here. Now, unlike some of the cars, I found it very understeery around. Now, as I mentioned in the intro, this is using the fixed setup. However, it is fairly low on fuel. I have about 15 litres remaining. Oh, no, I don't. No, I have 4.5 kilos remaining. So this is used in both the fixed and open setup round here this week. I'm cutting all the corners without hitting the little cone things. And again, just lightly dabbing on the brakes. Out the 3 cars I drove around here, I actually found the Porsche was probably the easiest to turn in. Probably fairly obviously. But this does have more oomph on the main straight. And we go over and across the line, coming up now in a 1:38.922. Right, let's do the breakdown lap. Right, breakdown. So, first braking marker we're looking for is this 150 that you can just see there. There it is. You can just see it. So, as we go through it, we're going to get on the brakes and we hold it at around 80%, just making sure that I'm not going into the ABS. We wipe off all that speed, then we trail it off down to the apex, and we're up at the apex at about 70% gas. And then getting up. Next, it's roughly the 100 where the next braking marker is here as we come into turn 3. And we're only up to about 40%, and we trail it off down to just before the apex. I'm getting back on the gas. I'm missing that cone by a very small margin. And then building back up on the power. Now, you can get half your car over that sausage curb on the right-hand side. And now we're going to try and take the start of this flat, and then we're just going to basically feather the throttle to ensure that we're making the corner. Now, for me, in this car, at this point, this is when I dropped it to third because the revs had gone so low. I wanted that extra torque. Picking back up to fourth, and now we're braking almost immediately just before the 50-meter board, and we're braking this time up to about 60% and trailing it off, leave it in second gear, and we're getting back on the gas more or less at the apex here. All the blank corners if you're on a single screen, I think, this week. Now I flat out through 8 and 9, and basically I was using the shadow during the test session as my precursor to getting on the brakes, but you've also got the stanchion on the right hand side that's actually producing the shadow in case it's overcast. So as we go through that that stanchion, braking up to about 82%, as you can see, wiping all that speed off, dropping it all the way down to first gear, and we're wanting to trail off still. So I'm still trailing off the brakes as I mount the curb, and then I start getting back on the gas. I leave it in first in this car, and then I do a full lift, and now I build back up on the gas. And basically, once we get to the outside where this curbing is here, we're going to be getting back up on the brakes, only up to about 30%. And again, just to turn the car in, leaving it in second gear. And again, you're just wanting to miss this cone or bollard or whatever it is on the right-hand side. And then getting back on the gas, up to third. And then basically, once we're midway between where we are now on the curbs and the other curbs on the other side, that's when we're going to start braking. And again, we're not braking hard, only up to about 25-30%, but it's a long hold on the brakes. And then we start, as soon as we can see that we're going to make the turn, we're going to get back on the gas in second gear. Again, we're just wanting to miss this bollard here. We're only on about 2/3 gas until I can open the wheel slightly, and that's when I can go up to 100. I had a little wiggle there. And exactly the same. So this corner is just the same, but the reverse. Once we're about halfway across, again, we're on the brakes to about 20%. And it's a long, long corner. Don't get impatient and try and go early, because if you do, you're going to miss the exit. So as we apex here, we're on about half gas, and then we just open it up. You don't want to go over those yellow no-cut curb bollards on the exit, because you will bounce up and down like a silly thing. And over and across the line in 138.922. I've been Sambo iRacing. I'll see you guys again next week. Thanks.